Iraq was my first major initiative, where as a congressman, and I wasn't an official member of the government, I went to Iraq. 2 American servicemen, 2 American contractors had been captured. And for 6 months I negotiated going to see Saddam Hussein, and basically the ambassador in New York, who I was negotiating with, the Iraqi ambassador, said, it's all personal. It's how you connect with Saddam Hussein, whether you get this prisoner out, whether you get the 2 prisoners out. All these policies, our 2 countries are in terrible, terrible relationship. There's sanctions, we may go to war, so it's a personal connection. I remember going and traveling to Iraq incognito. The Clinton administration basically said, you're not a member of the administration, but if you succeed in getting the 2 out, we want some credit. If you don't succeed, nice meeting you. And I understood that. Many of my missions I've done that way. I remember sitting with Saddam Hussein face to face at the beginning of the meeting. First of all, one of the characteristics of rogue regimes is when you meet with them, they try to psychologically get the best of you. They meet with you not at morning or afternoon. They meet with you in the dead of night, 3 a.m. Fidel Castro used to do that. In fact, he had his best dinners about 4 a.m. The same with the Iraqis. I remember arriving dead tired into Baghdad, a knock on my door about 3 a.m. President wants to see you. I said, well, yeah, I'll be when in the morning? No, right now. And I went in, and the first thing I did in the meeting was commit a horrendous error, a cultural error. I crossed my legs and showed him the sole of my shoe, which to an Arab is a supreme insult. I was dead tired. In my briefing books it said, do not cross your legs, but I did it. And so Saddam Hussein kept looking at me while I did this, and I was giving my spiel, humanitarian reasons. Please let these 2 Americans out. And he kept looking at me, and his beady eyes really focused on me like a laser. And then all of a sudden, he walked out of the room. And I remember asking my interpreter, is he coming back? And he said, yes, he's coming back, but you must apologize because you've committed a grave error, a cultural error. Saddam Hussein came back, and I made a snap decision. General Clark, who knows rogues very well. In fact, one of the rogues told me he liked General Clark, Milosevic. But, you know, he won, Wes Clark won that war. So, and I remember Saddam Hussein coming back and expecting me to apologize, grovel. Because psychologically, I'd put myself in a situation where I had to somehow take a step to bring him back into the conversation. And I decided not to apologize. I went on, very respectful. And I think that gave me respect in his eyes. He saw me, I kept talking, very stern, never smiled, didn't understand English, we had a translator. And then all of a sudden, he didn't look at me, and he said, by the order vested in me in Article 17 of the Iraqi Constitution, I hereby turn over the 2 Americans to you. And I was startled, and a human gesture, I grabbed his hand. And all of the Iraqi security forces around the room jumped on us because they thought I was going to commit an act of assassination, which I wasn't. I was just grateful. A human gesture. And then he stood up and he called the press in. And he said to me for the first time with a little smile, you know, my appearing with you, with my press, does not enhance my political standing here. And I said, well, Mr. President, I don't think it helps me either. Diplomacy is personal. Diplomacy is not